Welcome to our countdown of the greatest generals in American history. These leaders have shaped the course of our nation through their strategic brilliance and unwavering dedication. From the battlefields of the Revolution to the beaches of Normandy, these men faced extraordinary challenges and emerged as icons of American military history. Their stories are not just tales of battles won and lost, but testaments to the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Over the next hour, we'll delve into the lives and careers of these 5 extraordinary men, exploring their strategies, their struggles, and their enduring legacies. He was a man of quiet dignity, a planter from Virginia thrust onto the world stage. George Washington, a man who could have seized power but instead chose to build a nation. From the bitter winter at Valley Forge to the final victory at Yorktown, Washington held the Continental Army together. He was more than a military commander, he was a symbol of defiance against an empire. Imagine the weight on his shoulders, the burden of a new nation's hopes and dreams. He was outmaneuvered time and again by the British, his army a ragtag collection of farmers and shopkeepers facing the world's most powerful military. But Washington persevered, his leadership the glue that held the revolution together. His victories were hard-fought, often against overwhelming odds, but each victory from Trenton to Saratoga chipped away at the resolve of the British, proving that the American spirit could not be broken. Washington's legacy extends far beyond the battlefield. He established the precedent for civilian control of the military, ensuring that the fledgling nation would never fall prey to tyranny. He could have been king, but he chose to be a citizen, stepping down from power and paving the way for a peaceful transition of leadership. This act alone cemented his place as the father of our nation. In the annals of American history, George Washington stands as a beacon of leadership, his unwavering commitment to liberty and democracy serving as an inspiration for generations to come. He was the indispensable man, the leader who made the American experiment possible. Ulysses S. Grant, a name synonymous with Union victory in the Civil War. But his path to greatness was anything but preordained. He was a man who knew both defeat and disappointment, a West Point graduate who had resigned from the army only to find himself back in uniform when the nation was torn asunder. Grant was a different kind of general. He was a fighter, a man who understood the true cost of war. He wasn't afraid to take risks, to push his men to the breaking point because he knew that victory required sacrifice. From the battlefields of Shiloh to the siege of Vicksburg, Grant's determination never wavered. He understood the strategic importance of the Mississippi River, and he was willing to pay any price to secure it for the Union. His campaign in the West was a masterpiece of military strategy, splitting the Confederacy in two and crippling its ability to wage war. But it was his relentless pursuit of Robert E. Lee in Virginia that cemented his place in history. The battles were brutal, the casualties staggering, but Grant never lost sight of his goal, the unconditional surrender of the Confederacy. And in the end, it was Grant's compassion, his willingness to offer Lee generous terms of surrender, that helped to heal a nation riven by war. He understood that the real victory lay not in crushing the South, but in bringing it back into the Union. Robert E. Lee, a name forever linked to the Confederacy, a figure of immense complexity and enduring controversy. He was a man torn between his loyalty to his state and his belief in the Union he had sworn to protect. Born into a family steeped in military tradition, Lee was a brilliant strategist, a graduate of West Point who had distinguished himself in the Mexican-American War. When Virginia seceded, Lee made the agonizing decision to follow his home state into the Confederacy. It was a decision that would have profound consequences for the nation. Lee's leadership during the Civil War was marked by tactical brilliance and unwavering courage. He inflicted heavy casualties on Union forces, time and again outmaneuvering his opponents on the battlefield. His victories at Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville became legendary, cementing his reputation as a military genius. But Lee also suffered setbacks, his army depleted by attrition and outmatched in resources by the industrial might of the North. Yet, he fought on, driven by a sense of duty and a belief in the cause for which he fought. His surrender at Appomattox Courthouse marked the end of the Confederacy and the beginning of a long and painful process of national reconciliation. Lee's legacy remains complex, his name forever intertwined with the tragedy of slavery and the division it wrought. Dwight D. Eisenhower, a name synonymous with Allied victory in World War II. He was a man who never sought the spotlight, but whose leadership proved crucial in defeating Nazi Germany. Eisenhower was a master of logistics and diplomacy. As Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force, he faced the daunting task of coordinating a massive invasion of Europe, uniting armies from different nations with different languages and different fighting styles. His calm demeanor and his ability to build consensus among strong-willed leaders like Patton and Montgomery were essential to the success of the D-Day invasion and the liberation of Europe. Imagine the weight of the world on his shoulders on June 6, 1944. The fate of millions rested on the success of the invasion, but Eisenhower never wavered, his steady hand guiding the Allied forces to victory. He understood that victory in modern warfare required more than just military might. It required a unity of purpose and a shared commitment to defeating tyranny. After the war, Eisenhower served as President of the United States, guiding the nation through the tumultuous early years of the Cold War. His legacy as a military leader and a statesman remains secure, a testament to the power of quiet leadership in times of crisis. Douglas MacArthur, a general who embodied both the triumphs and the complexities of American military power in the 20th century. He was a man of contradictions, a brilliant strategist who could be both arrogant and inspiring. MacArthur's career spanned from World War I to the Korean War. He rose to prominence in the Pacific Theater during World War II, leading American forces in a series of daring island-hopping campaigns that ultimately led to the defeat of Japan. His vow to return to the Philippines, uttered after being driven from the islands by the Japanese, became a rallying cry for American forces and a symbol of American resolve. MacArthur's leadership was not without its critics. His flamboyant style and his belief in his own destiny rubbed some the wrong way. His decision to defy President Truman's orders during the Korean War ultimately led to his dismissal, a controversial end to a long and storied career. Yet, there is no denying MacArthur's impact on American military history. He was a complex and enigmatic figure, a general who embodied both the best and the worst of American power. He was a man who believed in his own destiny, and who left an indelible mark on the history of the 20th century. These generals have left an indelible mark on American history through their leadership and strategic genius. They faced extraordinary challenges, leading men in battle during some of the most consequential moments in human history. From the birth of a nation to the global struggle against tyranny, their decisions shaped the course of events and continue to influence military thinking today. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the annals of military history.